Muslim women in Scotland have told STV News they're experiencing Islamophobia almost every day, being shouted at in the street, told to go home and physically threatened.
Tomorrow, vigils in Scottish cities are planned to show a united front against racial and religious hate and commemorate people killed and injured in a terrorist attack on a mosque in New Zealand, as Claire McNeil reports.
It's the abuse in the street, it's the empty seat next to you in the bus, even though the bus is so full that people are standing, squashed in like sardines.
Lindsay has lived in Scotland her whole life. She loves her home. But she says racial abuse is a regular occurrence. She's been shouted at, spat at, and on a couple of occasions feared physical assault.
So I was on one side of the pavement and he swerved towards me, and I thought straight away, you know, when it's happened before, you know it's going to happen, and you know. And he started shouting in my face. I can't say what he said. He swore so much. He started shouting in my face and telling me to go home and calling me a terrorist and swearing at me and pointing right in my face. And I thought, this man's going to hit me.
I quite like football, and I went to a Green at Morton match. And I must be Green at Morton's only hijabi supporter. And as I left the match, there was away fans, and they shouted slurs at me, you know, saying, "Oh, check her bag, she's got a bomb."
Both women say they just don't bother reporting many of the incidents because it's too much hassle. They just put up with it.
Unfortunately, this is the day-to-day reality of Muslim women. It's especially Muslim women because we are vulnerable, because we're females. It's usually male-on-female attacks.
Before I had children, I would speak out if someone says something to me, but now I've got kids, I kind of take a step back and I go, well, if I retaliate, they could possibly harm me or my children. I think people don't really get that I'm Scottish. I think people assume that I'm a refugee now, you know, and I've been told to go back home, and I'm like, well, I stay Port Glasgow.
If every single Muslim woman who was assaulted or affected by Islamophobia every day phoned the police, they would be inundated. They would not be able to deal with anything else. It's at that level now.
They say the government need to do more to tackle Islamophobia and believe change will ultimately come from education, teaching acceptance and equality. But these women say their community is a strong one, determined not to let hate dictate their lives.
Like sometimes I've worn like an abaya and somebody's like, "Oh, have you started wearing that now?" And I said, "No, I'm actually just wearing my pyjamas underneath it." And I didn't have the energy to go in. I don't think I was hanging ironed, okay?
The Scottish Government have said they'll do everything it takes to ensure Scotland is a place where there is zero tolerance of racism. A public consultation on proposed changes to Scottish hate crime legislation closed last month, and the results, which will help shape new laws, are expected soon. Claire McNeil, STV News.